They're probably, I always look at probably Hawthorn because I grew up with having AFL in my blood, and so I relate very closely with AFL. So I usually look at those coaches. You know, David Parkin was a really good coach, very passionate man. Paul Roos, yeah. There's probably the coaches who I really look at from other sports.
You know, I'm going to show my age here. I think my first one's Bob Simpson. I think of him like back in the late 80s, like, and I think his approach, that toughness that he brought to the Australian cricket team, changed the fortunes around. I thought was something outstanding. I think it's something I've always held and wanted to follow. And my other one is Tom Maher. I think his inclusiveness around the Opals and how he got that side to being the second best side in the world in such a global game, I think is just super impressive.
I'm probably going for all the older ones that have had all the history and have had all the wins, like Phil Jackson, 11 NBA rings, and also Pat Riley, and also, Sir Alex Ferguson, Manchester United. If you read a lot of the stuff that those guys have, you can associate with them the issues they have with players. Like, I didn't realise that Phil Jackson and Kobe Bryant didn't get on all that well. So it's interesting when you read some of those stories about how they operate teams and the ups and downs that they have. It transfers back to you, and you think, oh, well, it's everywhere in sport. It's about personalities being able to strive to get together to get the best out of one another.
I always take an interest in other coaches. I don't think there's particularly one coach, but I always take an interest. I'm a bit of a reader, so I read. Even if it's informal stuff, like in the newspapers, I always interesting to see what coaches say. I read books, because I think you can certainly learn a lot from, well, you do learn a lot from other people, and you've got to be open to learn from outside netball especially.
I think Coach K from Duke University, we spent some time, I was lucky enough to go on a recent tour to Duke Uni. Just listening to him and watching him in action, for me, was probably the ultimate example of a team sports coach. And I like to take a bit from everywhere. I've read a lot of Rick Charlesworth's books and what he did with the hockey roos in his time, particularly in that era. The books that he's written certainly resonate with what my philosophies on coaching are, so I've taken a lot from him. I work a lot, well, Brenton Sanderson from the Crows and I have a really good relationship in Adelaide, where we'll go to each other's trainings and get that cross-sport pollination, if you like, exchanging of ideas and management tips and all that sort of stuff. So he's been really good for me in that Adelaide climate. Probably, yeah, those three at the moment are my main influences.